Manager Champions here with my partner Chris Paradice and the Stranglehold Championship Warzone Championship holder Dangerous Danny Horne. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a call-in. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for the audience back home. Tell us who you are, sir.
Are you there?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the first ever Stranglehold Championship Wrestling Hall of Fame inductee, Pitbull. Pitbull, what is up, my man?
Hey guys, what's going on, man?
That's good to hear from you, my man. And by the way, I didn't get a chance to tell you this, but you guys also got Tag Team of the Year for 2020, yourself and Sam Slaughter. Congratulations there, too.
Thank you very much.
So, double inductee, Slaughter Pit. Right here with me, I have Dangerous Danny Horne. I have my partner, Chris Paradice.
Hey, what's happening, Pitt?
Of course, I have my production team, Gavin Campbell, Greg Stansel, William Bullock. We are live on the Stranglehold podcast telling Mike Money stories. And I know good and well how close you guys were, and heck, just share what you like, my man.
Well, as far as stories go, I mean, there's so many. I mean, I couldn't really pinpoint any story because there's always a lot of great times with Mike Money. As far as giving opportunities to all of us that came in through those doors to do what we love and what we dreamed of doing while we were little, kids, and giving us that opportunity to go out there and actually do it, I mean, he was just the greatest guy in wrestling that I could possibly think of. As the story goes, he was like a father figure to me. He helped out anybody that needed any help. If you needed advice, if you needed, and it's not just in wrestling, just in life in general.
That was definitely Mike.
He was always there, and I know he was always, he's always behind the scenes doing that for everybody. Not only being the greatest, one of the greatest managers out there, he was the greatest owner in independent wrestling.
Absolutely.
And that's why, myself was a mainstay because I love Mike Money,
Absolutely.
I would never, if you needed anything, me and Sam was there. Nobody was going to mess with, Mike because, he had us behind him,
Oh, yeah.
So, but, as far as stories go, there's so many stories. I mean, I'd be on here forever, but just how he was as a man, he was just like one of the greatest men I've ever met in my life.
Absolutely.
And I just, it hit me pretty hard. I ain't had no time to put nothing on Facebook because I really ain't found the words, you know, because it's still kind of sitting heavy, you know, and it's,
I understand.
You kind of caught me off guard, you know, come on your podcast, you know, cause,
well, you know me, Pitt, that's,
kind of choke up a little bit, but
that's okay. That's all right. We've all been doing our share of it.
It's just, you know, it came at me sideways yesterday. You know, I just found out on Facebook, you know.
Yeah, it hit us like a ton of bricks. I mean, it went south fast, you know. Somebody came to me and said, hey, did you hear Mike Money passed? I'm like, at first I thought it was bullshit, and I called Phenom. I said, hey, I need you to go to Mike's house pronto. I said, I need to know that this is true. He said, what's true? I said, just please go ask the family. Just trust me. And Phenom couldn't even put the words together when he got back on the phone with me. And I was like, F me.
Yeah.
And he finally got the words out, and I went to pieces. I'm glad my wife was there. Damn, dude, I had a hard time. Telling everybody. I had a hard time trying to get the words out to Danny, to everybody, you know, that I thought to call. I wanted to tell you we're going to be at the Byron Denny's next Sunday about 3 o'clock. If you can break away for a minute, we'd love to see you.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'd love to see you guys, man.
Hey, if we just sit for a cup of coffee and a session, it'd be great.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
This COVID business not only cost us our famous landmark venue in Fort Valley, but it also cost us Mike money.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you this from the bottom of my heart, Pitt, and for everybody listening, that I'm a resilient man, and I never say never. Is there a chance I can bring wrestling back to Fort Valley? We'll never say never. Because I feel I owe it to this man. I feel I owe it to all of you. And all you guys that stood by me and helped me get to where I'm at today. Because, to be honest, man, guys like yourself, like Danny, like Mike especially, Mike was a founding father of Stranglehold himself. Not only was he the founder of AWN, but he was also founding father of Stranglehold, because he said, yes, it's your time now.
Right.
He says, your time to shine. It's your time to do this. It's your time to take the reins.
Well, you know, that's one thing Mike did, you know. He opened up a lot of doors and
so many
independent wrestling, because if it wasn't for Mike Money putting AWN where it was at and making it what it was, you know, I mean, all these other organizations wouldn't stand a chance in Georgia, you know what I mean?
No, they wouldn't.
You know, and I can back that up, you know. I mean, a lot of great wrestlers came out of those doors.
And, you know, it's like I told you during your
doors and left out those doors. There's some young kids that I seen grow up through there.
Oh, yeah.
As far as, like, you know, the Michael Stevens and the Wills and you know, even just as my kids were growing up watching us wrestle and other wrestlers' kids, they're wrestling today.
Yeah, like your son Eddie Honcho.
Yeah, and that's you know, I wasn't gonna name anybody, but yeah, I mean, since you brought it up, yeah, I mean, he sat there and watched every Saturday on the front row.
And you know what was great? What was great when I took the reins at Fort Valley, he was at my very first show, and almost at every show up until we had to shut down for a little while.
Yeah, you know, and he's dedicated to it. He was heartbroken when AWN shut down. You know, he was trying to figure out ways to keep it open. You know, because he wanted to keep that name going. You know.
Well, like I said, Stranglehold's still here, and the probability exists that we may go back to Fort Valley.
Well, that'd be cool.
Because, like I said, you know, besides Mike, all you guys here have pretty much given me everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
You took a guy and you gave me the ropes and let me run with it, and and we built something out of it.
We watched you grow too, man, and you know, in the same way, we got you back. You know, we grew. It's like a family.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna take care of each other. I'll take it out.
During this broadcast for the live stuff that you can see, I found my scrapbook you guys made me before I deployed to Iraq in 2007. So I'm gonna show off a few pictures from it. probably at some point during this broadcast. And yeah, I really wanted you here to give us your account, or at least some of it.
Right.
Get it out there. You know, I know you got a lot on your plate with all this and everything else. That goes without saying. We're all feeling it right now. And that's the truth.
Yeah, it is. It's. I'm pretty sure I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook and all the love that he's gotten. I mean, it's been outstanding. You know.
Yeah, I had no idea that.
I'm sure he'd love it. So I mean.
I had no idea that our trip that we took in September to go Jerry Lawler's show in Tennessee was going to be our last hurrah. It was a fun trip. We made a lot of connections over leaps and bounds that day, and had copious amounts of Crown Royal, and had a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You know, but hey, that's what he does. He loved going to it. Any kind of wrestling event there was, he loved going to it. So.
Yeah, we were planning a trip to the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame in Texas before all this happened, and I'll have some information for you on that trip later.
Alright.
Because it may be of interest to you as well. And listen, Pitt, I'm gonna let you get back to it. Thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah,
Sorry to throw a curveball at you like that.
No, you're fine, man. I'm glad you got it. You know, I was, like I said, any stories. I mean, I got so many stories, man. It's just, I couldn't even pinpoint one out right now. You know.
Listen, I know everything's a blur right now.
Yeah, right. So, but I'll let you guys go, and I appreciate you guys having me on, and I'll see you next Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pit Bull, give it up. We'll see you soon, Pit. Bye. Well, Stranglehold Hall of Famer Pit Bull giving his account of Stranglehold Hall of Famer Mike Money. One half of one of the greatest tag teams that ever stepped foot in Fort Valley, the Slaughter Pit.
Slaughter Pit. Let me tell you, I had some big battles with Sam and Pitt. One in particular moment was a dog collar chain match.
I remember this.
That me and Pit Bull put on. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can look at Pit Bull and think he's not hard. Think again, because
he brings it.
Yeah, he brings it. When you step through the ropes against Pit Bull, you're stepping through the ropes against a man who used to be a boy, but he grew up into a man. By the time I got a hold of Pitt, he was a man, and he beat my ass. But I took everything he had, and I also brought it to him.
Oh, yeah.
And he respects me to this day for that.
Absolutely.
So real quick, while we're waiting on more call-ins to come about, Danny, let's take a trip down memory lane.
Mm-hmm.
How many titles have you held?
Oh, man.
Heritage.
Well, the Warzone title, the APW Cruiserweight Championship,
Heritage.
the AWN Heritage Championship, longest reigning in AWN history, AWN Tag Team Champion, Triple Crown Champion, World Heavyweight Champion for AWN,
First Cruiserweight Champion, first Hardcore Champion.
World Cruiserweight Champion, Hardcore Champion. So, I say about maybe 10 or 12, 10 to 12.
Wait a minute. Sorry, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sarah Hirsch, she is the sister of Stranglehold Hall of Famer Q-Ball. She has a Mike Money story for us. How we doing, Sarah?
Yeah. Hi. So I've been thinking all day, and Mike Money, he
Sorry for the interruption.
no matter if you were from the crowd, backstage, no matter what, he always treated you like family. was taboo. I remember being backstage with Q and Ricky Silver, and all of a sudden he popped up from behind, us like, "Hey, how you doing?" And that made me feel really good, and that just it brought everything like full circle for me, because a lot of us have been reading the tributes and posts and stuff, and a lot of people said their time at AWN was some of the best times of their life, and I'm one of those that will agree with that as well. AWN opened up our eyes. A lot of us were learning a whole new side to wrestling, the independence and all that. So just to be able to come back and be welcomed with open arms with Mike Money, that really stands out for me.
Well, one of the significances behind the opening of Stranglehold was Mike Money was in fact a founding member. We did a big event for an affiliate promotion in Virginia, and had several legends, including the final appearance of George Animal Steel. And after that, he says, he said, "It's your time to shine now, man. It's time that you formed your own company and got out there on your own instead of supporting everybody else's dream, including mine." He says, "I need to help you form a company." And
right.
And of course, along myself, my wife, a few other veterans, including Mike, Stranglehold Championship Wrestling was born. And now, over leaps and bounds, it's gotten here. Mike Money, of course, you may have been there that night, but he was inducted in tandem with Dirty Don, class of 2020. He was not only, a wrestling manager, but also as a founding father of Stranglehold Championship Wrestling.
Right.
So, it was kind of like, this isn't AWN anymore out here in Fort Valley, but this is the new chapter. This is the one that this is another chapter that Mike Money helped write.
Exactly, like his contribution to Central Georgia in terms of indie wrestling. Stranglehold is a testament to that.
Absolutely.
And and seeing people like Marv on AEW Dark, he has a hand in that, and it just makes you very proud that, even if it's a small victory, it's a rewarding. It's so rewarding because he gave Marv that opportunity. I remember when Marv was training with my brother.
Yep, I remember those days. I was actually in those training sessions with those guys.
Yeah, and seeing people continue their dream and stuff. I mean, Mike Money was the reason why. And even for me,
that's a fact.
I sat in the crowd most of the time, and but where I'm at now, like writing pro wrestling blogs. I'm about to start my own podcast.
Very good.
And thank you. And he, I attribute that to my times in Fort Valley, because that's where I really learned, the basically the whole different side, and got a little smarter about it, if you will.
Absolutely.
And just remembering people we have, a lot of us have lifetime relationships out of our time in Fort Valley, and that AWN's going to be a part of all of us.
Of course.
Part of us as people, friends, performers, talent. I mean, a lot of it attributes to that, and just like me, no matter what, it's going to have a place with us for like the rest of our lives.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm interested to see your blog on this. I'll send you some pictures and stuff to kind of help with that. I'm sure For those of you listening, if y'all have any pictures, look up Miss Sarah Hirsch on social media. She writes a nice wrestling column. So send her your Mike Money stuff. Let's get it out there for the world to see. Let's share these experiences, as well as you guys can call in here. You know, while we're sitting here chatting and fellowshipping. But I really appreciate you taking the time out to get with us this evening, Ms. Hirsch. And
thank you, and I appreciate you allowing me to call in and say hi and offer my thoughts on Mike Money. Excuse me, Mike Money.
and would you like to give us the title for those at home watching of your blog, so they can come read some of your writings?
The easiest way is my Facebook page, facebook.com/Peaches and Power Bombs. And
Peaches and Power Bombs. That's right, folks.
New upcoming podcast, and I will definitely be sharing some Fort Valley stories.
That sounds great. And like I said, you've got Dangerous Danny Horne here listening.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, how you?
I'm doing good.
Great.
So yeah, I'm sure you got some stories about him.
Oh, yeah.
But listen, Ms. Hirsch, we're going to let you get back to it. Chris Paradice here, my partner, has some questions for Danny, and we're going to get back to that, and we'll chat soon. Ladies and gentlemen, again, the number is 770-601-2521. We will take some more call-ins. Have a great day. Sarah Hirsch, we'll see you. Have a good one.
See you later, Danny.
Bye.
I gotta tell you, I love these call-ins.
Yeah, they're
You
good.
can envision, even if you weren't there, you can envision everything happening. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Danny, let's go back to your title count. How many titles did you say you had?
Well, I really can't really remember. I'm gonna say 11 or 12, maybe.
All right, so 11 or 12 titles. Tell me about what got you to the wrestling business. What drew you to it?
Okay, well,
What match did you watch that said, hey, I want to do what they did?
back in the day, I used to watch Barry Windham all the time. Former member of the Four Horsemen. Barry was an awesome babyface, but he was a better heel. When he turned on Dusty Rhodes and became that heel and started wearing the black glove, that was the moment I said, that's what I want to do.
That is absolutely awesome.
How I got into the business, my mother was working at the Waffle House at the time, and Grady Odom, who used to be one of the assassins of the most hated tag team in history, used to come into the Waffle House all the time. And he was fixing to start up a wrestling school in Fort Valley and start running shows. Well, for Georgia Championship Wrestling. And one thing led to another. My mother asked him to get me off the street. Could he take me and put me in the business? Well, he did that. He took me, he introduced me to Buddy Burke, Killer Keith Steinborn, or Mr. Olympia, and a few others that took me under their wing, and they trained me, and here I am today, 24 years later.
All right, so I've had the opportunity to go back on YouTube and see a couple video clips from you. You seem to be very hardcore.
Yes.
What inspired you to be hardcore?
ECW.
ECW. I understand completely. Speaking of ECW, I've seen you wrestle Sabu.
Right.
All right, tell me this. It's a little bit crazy to me because I grew up in a time ECW, WCW, WWF. That was the only thing to watch.
Right.
And you had to watch all three because you didn't want to miss anything.
Right.
ECW came on at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was in middle school, staying up very, very late on Friday nights to watch these shows. Sabu captivated my mind. I later found out YouTube existed and I could go back and watch more of his stuff. He did Japan stuff, deathmatch, like constantly he'd do anything to get a pop.
Right.
So when you found out you were going to wrestle Sabu, what's the thoughts that go through your mind?
What could I do to him? You know, how bloody the match is going to get. And I was busted open pretty good with the barbed wire.
Yes, you were.
Lots of blood.
And the
Sabu's a good guy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say he's not, but Sabu kind of pissed me off that night. First of all, he was over 2 hours late getting to the venue.
Oh, goodness.
And when he showed up at the venue, he was messed up on whatever he was messed up on. And it kind of pissed me off. So, when we got in the ring and we got to going, I knew the match wasn't going to go that long because he couldn't perform.
I got you.
And so it took maybe about 6-7 minutes. I thought
6 minutes, yes.
Well, 6 minutes. I thought he had enough. Match is over. Taking it to the house. Thank you.
And let me tell you, I made chicken poop into chicken salad with that video.
I ain't no lie.
It was an honor. It was real honor to be able to step in the ring with Sabu, an ECW original, an ECW legend, a hardcore legend himself. To see if I could handle guys like that.
Right.
And I think I handled myself pretty well.
All right, so with that being said, who's your favorite opponent?
I got a couple of them. Lenny Poffo was my first favorite opponent. Johnny Grunge, another favorite opponent. D.L. Norris, which is a local hardcore guy. Johnny Hard from West Virginia.
Man, I miss that guy.
That's a hell of a name, man. Johnny Hard, I love it.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He was a hell of a worker.
Absolutely.
Let's see, Phenom. He's another one of my favorites. Even the guy that was on the phone earlier, Dirty Don. Me and Dirty Don has knocked down, dragged out, blew the roof off places. And that's all I got to say on that. You know, they were my favorites.
All right, most hated. Who did you dread getting in the ring with?
Okay, my most hated, and I'm gonna say this right into the camera, is Michael Stevens. I dreaded getting in the ring with him. He was an arrogant, cocky that I didn't like. And because I could get over better than he could in the ring, or his cronies that hung around him, the Drew Adlers, the Zach Edwards, and I don't care if y'all are listening out there or not. I hope you are. Because Michael Stevens, I haven't forgot, and I won't never forget. Whenever you get a chance, if you get somebody to book the match, I want you. In a hardcore match, though, it's going to be my way, or you can hit the highway.
How about the junkyard match?
Junkyard match it is, dear Gavin.
And let me say this. Whoops. Welcome to the danger zone.
Right. So, being a hardcore guy, weapon of choice.
Barbed wire, kendo stick, steel chair.
All right, if you could pick one of those and go against any person, any generation, who's your dream
Hey, I remember
opponent?
when we jokingly called you the chairman because of this chair
That's
with the
right,
barbed wire.
I'll take the chair.
All right. You had any dream opponent? Who would it be?
I thought you told me Whipwreck one time.
Yeah, Mikey Wentwreck would be a good dream opponent. He's old now, but back in the day, I would have loved to have gotten in the ring with Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Oh man, that'd be a.
That
Oh,
would have
goodness.
been, I mean, off the chain. It would. I would have had to have retired from wrestling.
I
at
understand
that
completely. All right, so all that being said, your grand stage. Most people dream of making it to WrestleMania. You can pick the building, you can pick the event, and you can pick the opponent for a 5-star match. Where are you going to perform at? Where's the venue? And who's your opponent for that 5-star match?
New York, Madison Square Garden, Eddie Guerrero.
That would be killer, man.
That would be my ultimate dream match. Even though I'd probably get my whooped because Eddie was pretty hard. You know, if you pissed him off. But yeah, Eddie Guerrero would be my favorite.
All right, so I'm not trying to be offensive whatsoever, but you're not a big guy. Have you ever got into the match with somebody and you're like, holy shit, this guy's gonna eat me alive?
Yes, there have been a couple of them. Iceberg being one of them. He's 450 pounds, and he was as hardcore as they could come.
That'd be cool if that was Iceberg. Just hit me up.
Yes, that would be cool. So
I think Pitbull said he's going to join the Boiler Room.
Gotcha. Alright, it's not him yet. I'm sorry.
Kodiak was another one. That
Yeah, I
was
miss him.
he was real muscle bound and real big, and I was like, holy shit, what am I going to do with this guy? He was nice to me. He beat my but he was nice.
He sure did.
Uh,
AJ Steele was another one.
AJ Steele was another one. Next question.
Alright. I didn't write anything down. This is all off the fly, so bear with me. Alright, so you mentioned Iceberg. I used to watch Iceberg when he was up north every other Saturday.
The NWA Wild Side.
Yes, sir. What was Anarchy whenever I started
Oh,
going?
And ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one half of the Southside Trash. Sir, welcome to the show. Tell us who you are.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Razor hanging out.
Razor of the Southside Trash, class of 2021 Hall of Fame induction.
What's going on, Razor?
Oh, no,
Got-
not too much, just hanging out.
We got Danny Horne sitting right here. My partner Chris Paradice, which you'll meet later. Of course, our production team here present. And you are live, sir. Let's have a Mike Money story.
Oh, Mike Money. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm still in shock about that, man. Mike was a great guy.
The greatest tag
Probably
team
one of the
I ever been
funniest
in the ring
stories I
with
can remember
was
is,
the Southside Trash.
Awesome.
we was at WWE house taping in Macon. And I'm sitting on the floor. I had taken my son, and I'm sitting on the floor, just sitting in the chair, chilling out, waiting for everything to start. And all of a sudden, I get this big old hug right back behind my neck. I thought somebody was attacking me or something. I didn't know who it was. I turn around, there's Mike Money. He says, "Hey, want a beer?"
Now that's Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm just still in shock about that, man. That really hurt. That really hurt me right there.
Yeah, I still haven't wrapped my mind around it either, Razor. It's not going to be something I ever get over. I can tell you that. Because of Mike Money, I got to meet folks like yourself, and definitely had the pleasure of inducting you guys in the Stranglehold Hall of Fame. Which, if you didn't know, and I've told the viewing audience here that Mike Money was in fact a founding father of Stranglehold Championship Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
So he's basically like, AEW is kind of over with. It's some time for a new chapter in Fort Valley, so he helped broker the deal to get me in the Fort Valley venue. And of course, no thanks to COVID, we not only lost the venue, but unfortunately we've lost Mike. But one thing I will tell you, Razor, here and now is never say never. I I will at some point return to Middle Georgia, preferably in that area, because like I said, it's where it all started for us, for the majority of us.
That sounds great, man. I'm excited about everything. I just hated that, we had to go through all this stuff with the pandemic and then losing people that we really care about. It was really good for the business and stuff, man. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know how it seems every year everything gets worse and worse, but I don't know. We'll see Mike again one day. I'm not worried about
And of course, let's not forget one of your partners, the shooter Drew Golden, known as Raunchy in Southside Trash, being inducted with you guys in the Hall of Fame, and as the shooter Drew Golden as a singles inductee. Another great influence in my life in wrestling, along with you guys, of course. That goes without saying. So, like I said, without Mike, none of that. None of this would be here. None of this would have happened. I mean, I can't say enough. I'm sure you can't either. Heck, you probably got more stories than you can count, huh?
Yeah, I've got a few. I tell you.
There-
All of them are good. It's just, I really enjoyed my career. And me, Mike, Drew, and Mike. And, Drew was just like a brother to me. Me and him and Rowdy, we ran a lot of miles with each other. Spent a lot of time together. We were like family, man. I lost a brother when I lost Drew, and now that Mike's gone, man, I feel like I lost another brother. The family tree's getting thin, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Well, David, you always knew that you were family to me too, right?
Yes, sir.
I love you and Rowdy, and always will, man. Had some great times with y'all and good matches.
Oh, I enjoyed every minute of it, man. That's one thing I can always tell everybody that when they ask me about my career is that, the guys I met in the locker room and I shared the ring with, man, I have respect for every one of them. Sometimes, but
Yeah.
But you run across a one every now and then that just wants to mark out on himself and stuff like that. But other than that, and I can honestly say that just about everybody that I met in the business was like family to me. We had good times, and we just we shared a lot of brotherhood, and just we cared about each other, man. We talked about each other's families, and how our kids were doing, and all this stuff, and I wouldn't take them. Man, it was awesome. Just an awesome time. I was very blessed to be able to have memories, and I cherish them every day.
Well, I thank you, man. I was very blessed to share the ring with you and Rowdy as well.
Man, I don't know about Rowdy, because I think he's one. He trained me, so really he taught me how to be stiff, so I can't say too much.
Right.
Because if you ever get in a ring, play work stiff. That's all I can tell you.
That's it.
That's what the trash was all about.
Yes, sir. Well, Razor, we appreciate you calling in today. Thank you for sharing with us.
Yes, sir, man.
I look forward to seeing you here in the near future, my man.
Tell him about Denny's.
Mike's not going to be able to be there, and Drew too. It's just we're gonna miss some guys, man. I'm telling you, I feel like a part of me is gone.
Yeah. Well, like I said, 3 p.m. We'll see you at the bar in Denny's. Of course, spread the word to the other boys if they want to join.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna try my best to make it down, man. That's a long ride for me, but
I've put aside. I might have had some differences with some of these people, and I'll go ahead and say this that none of that matters right now. This is all about Mike.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, Razor, we're going to let you get back to it, my man, and we're going to continue with the podcast here. And thanks for calling in.
I appreciate it, my man. Good talking to y'all. I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Razor of the Southside Trash, Class of 2021 Stranglehold Championship Wrestling inductees. Well, I tell you what a list tonight, y'all.
Yeah,
It's been epic.
What a list tonight, man. Memory lane.
It's been a good podcast so far.
Absolutely, we got a lot of footage.
I'm pretty sure we're going in, 4 or 5 parts of this.
Oh yeah.
If you guys are watching in the boiler room or go back and watch it, thank you guys for the patience. Definitely appreciate that.
What we'll do is we'll set aside the interviews in one episode, and then we'll do the call-ins on its own episode. So that means I need to make a intro for episode 6.
Gavin is going to be one busy person.
Yes, sir.
Nobody can do it like Gavin. So Danny, we've been talking a little bit about your career, man, and I'm a belt guy, and I know in the wrestling business it's just a prop, but to me they are beautiful pieces of art. What's your favorite belt, man?
Probably the big gold belt.
The original one that Flair had?
Yeah, the original one that Flair had, because when Flair brought that belt in, it was the NWA, and supposedly he paid $25,000. That was the gimmick going on back then. You know, $25,000, brought the belt in. But the thing I liked most about that is the fact that when Flair left the NWA and went to the WWE, he took the big gold belt with him.
Right.
Because it was his.
Absolutely.
And I would take it with me too if I paid $25,000 for a belt. You know.
You got that right.
Another belt that I probably one of my favorites is the Heritage title.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That belt right there. This belt right here is one of my favorites already. And this belt right here is one of my favorites because I beat a ECW legend to get this belt. And that means the world to me. Thank you, Chris,
Absolutely.
for the belt. And thank you, Eric Nelson, for the belt. And I'm lost for words, man, right now. When Mike Money passed away, Eric called me at work, and I was just beside myself, man. I was in a lot of shock. I wasn't expecting him to. He told me to sit down. He said, "Are you sitting down?" And I said, "No." He said, "Well, sit down." I said, What's wrong?" And he wouldn't tell me what's wrong until I sat down. And as soon as I sat down, he told me, man, and I just lost it. I cried. I even went and told my work that I had to leave work because it hurt me so bad.
Like Eddie Guerrero all over again.
That, yes, it was Eddie Guerrero all over again, just in Mike Money form. Because like I said, Mike Money was like a father to me. He was my family. And I went a long way with Mike Money. If it wasn't for Mike Money, there wouldn't be no Dangerous Danny Horne.
Agreed. Would be no manager of champions either.
I was finna say, if it wasn't for Eric, you know, I don't know where I'd be at one time. And I'm not getting into no sob stories or nothing, but at one time I was homeless. I've gone through, you know, hellacious times in my life. People judged me, you know, and this is a podcast. I can say what I really want, right?
Absolutely.
Free country.
You know, people judged me in the wrestling business who I thought were my brothers. And because I had been working with them for so many years and we had mad respect for each other. But because I, you know, dibbled and dabbled and smoked a little bit of pot, everybody was against me. People judged me and other stuff, but when they started, they would judge me at first, but they would still get in the ring with me and have awesome shows. But I knew deep down in my head and in my heart that they didn't like me and they had no respect for me because of a little bit of pot.
It's rough, man. All right, so being a wrestler, man, your main job is to protect the other person.
Right.
Have you ever been in the ring with somebody that you felt judged that didn't do their job to protect you? That was trying to hurt you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the time. One wrestler in particular was Steve the Brawler Lawler. He was wrestling for Ben Masters down in Cordele, Georgia, as the Flame, and I kind of messed up. I went to the store. They just came out with Budweiser Ice, and so I got paid that day, and I looked at that 12-pack, and I was like, okay, you're going to the big time now, because I thought Ben Masters was the big time, at the time. For Peach State Championship Wrestling.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Linda on our production team had a question for you. You can go ahead and say it. I know you don't want to be on camera.
What was your worst injury, and who gave it to you?
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
But anyway, I'd gone to the store, and I thought Peach State Championship Wrestling was the big time. Because everybody, it was like AWN, only in Cordele. Everybody went there, everybody wrestled there. And they were doing TV. Well, one thing led to another. I got booked by Ben Masters, and so I drank that 12-pack of beer from Warner Robins to Cordele. By the time I got to Cordele, I was drunk.
Oh, man.
That Budweiser Ice done tore me up. So anyway, I went in there, got dressed. I was under a mask, so nobody would know who I was. They were calling me the masked superstar. I had on a yellow mask with yellow and purple outfit. It was Ricky Hall's old old outfit. Anyway, I had to wrestle Steve the Brawler Lawler, which was at the time was the Flame. And as soon as we went, and we had mad respect for each other at the time, but as soon as we locked up, Steve smelt that alcohol coming from me, and he just went off. He sucker punched me, straight jabbed me in the mouth, busted my nose open, bleeding, knocked me out, dislocated my jaw, took me to the outside of the ring, power bombed me on a concrete floor. I didn't know what was going on from that point to the end of the match because I was out of it. Wildfire Tommy Rich and this big black guy called Jam come running out there and ran Steve off, and Tommy got pissed off because of what Steve did to me. He said I didn't deserve it. Why did he do it? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, he was drinking. Tommy said, so I drink all the time. You don't do that to me. So, but anyway, Steve Lawler was the one that actually hurt me and tried to put me out of the business, but it didn't work. I was too hard-headed, and at the time I was young, and I just wanted to go back and get more.
All right, so you mentioned your attire. Do you have a favorite attire, or have you ever had a favorite set and they get ripped or something, and you're really upset about it? It was like your good luck pants or something like that.
I had a pair of boots at one time that Golden Boy Chick Donovan gave me. They were gold and maroon, and
you know what? He gave me my first suit.
A former friend of mine took them boots and threw them in the trash while I wasn't at the house one day, and I didn't have no wrestling boots anymore.
Oh, man.
So I went and I bought my Uncle Ricky Hardy, who used to be the Golden Eagle down in Fort Valley, Georgia. Very popular wrestler. I went and I bought his boots. He was getting out of the business, and they were brand new boots, and I've got them to this day.
All right, so I'm going to get a little bit personal since we're sitting next to your. I'm just going to say the CEO of SCW. $50 in a hot dog. Is that Eric Nelson Ways?
No.
All right.
I
Thank
will tell
so
you
much.
whose ways that is. That's Kimbrough Jones. Kimbrough Jones is the one that told me in AWN, we ain't got no money for you, but you can go to the concession stand and get a hot dog.
Damn it, man.
But Kimbrough is still my brother, whether he likes it or he don't like it. You know, I grew up with Kimbrough. Kimbrough's always been, nice to me. Other than that,
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a call in.
I'll get back to it.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Stranglehold Championship World Heavyweight Champion, the Extreme Phenom. Phenom, champ, welcome to the podcast. Oh my goodness, what a twisted kind of couple days it's been, right, champ?
Yeah, it's been rough.
What's going on, Phenom?
Hey, what's up?
So,
Miss you, brother. I said, miss you, brother.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Been too long since we've all really been able to get together and do our thing.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, we're going to do like we met at Denny's for a little bit last night, tried to put everything together. We're going to come back next Sunday around 3 o'clock if you can come down, champ.
Alright, yeah, I should be able to make that.
Well, if you want to tell the world, give me a Mike Money story.
Oh, man, where to start? The most recent one was, the show we did up there in, where was that, Austell? Or?
Oh, yeah, the nightclub. Yep, El Galaxy.
Yeah, so, so we go there, we do the show, everything goes good, and we all get a bite to eat before we leave, which, puts us even later getting down the road, because I think it was a Sunday night, right? So
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
pretty much had to go to work the next day. And so I'm on the way home, and I catch a little heat, from the household here, and I don't think I got home till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And probably 5 minutes before I get to the house, I get a call from Mike, and apparently his truck had broke down or something on the way home. And, he's asking me if I could, help him out once they do get to town, because I think they got a tow truck to tow him on in to Warner Robins here. And I'm like, yeah, man, I can do it. I can help you out, do whatever you need. And that's the thing with Mike. He could never tell anybody no,
Absolutely, and heck, nobody could really say no to him.
Yeah, and he would bend over backwards to help anybody he could,
Absolutely.
And anytime he asked anything of me, it felt like an honor almost to help him out, to do whatever he needed done. I worked on his house a couple times, helping him out with his cable problems or whatever. And, there again, I think it was like, I got home about 1 a.m. that morning, and of course had to handle a little business here at the house. And then it was about 3 or 4 in the morning when they finally got, to Warner Robins. And I told the missus, I was like, well, I got to go. And, so I just went and got them situated, and I'm glad I did. At the time, like I said, I did catch a little heat about it, but
Tell him it's a
at
podcast.
the time, looking back now, I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that was just one more thing that I could do for them.
Yeah, that's a fact, champ. We wouldn't be here without him, that's for sure. We wouldn't have gotten to the heights we have. Yes, myself, you, Dangerous Danny Horne, of course, my production team here, Mr. William Bullock, Greg Stansel. we were together long before wrestling was ever a reality in our lives. But Mike Money took us all to new heights. It gave us opportunities that we'd only dreamed of. It helped us build something bigger than ourselves. That's for definite sure. I know you're still piecing all that together in your head.
Yeah. This one hit a little different than most, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those that do know me, know that I'm not necessarily a people person, if you could say.
You're not an emotional person, but
Yeah.
Well, not so much that. It's just there's not many people in this world that mean that much to me. Let's just say, Of course, I've got my immediate family, and then there's you guys, my brothers. I've known Eric for 30, 40 years. Well, not 40 because we're not that damn old yet.
It's like, damn, champ, put me in the grave already. Why don't you?
It feels that way sometimes.
It does. Yeah, at least 32 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Near about, yeah. And say with William Bullock here, he 30 plus years with Greg here. Fuck, we're not as young as we used to be, are we, guys? But Jay's like, no.
no, we feel it every time we get in the ring.
Yeah, but yeah, I know that's right. But next Sunday, champ. Same bat time, same bat channel, 3 o'clock Sunday. Same spot. Hell, they look maybe the same booth. Who knows? But I appreciate you calling in real quick. I got some details to tell you later when I'm off the air. But thanks for sticking your head in real quick, and we'll talk soon.
All right, my friend. Y'all be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, get up for the champ. Later, man.
Later.
Okay.
We're sorry about that. Of course, the Stranglehold Championship Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion in the house.
Hey, listen, that's a huge honor, man. The day I met Mike Money for the first time, he was with us.
Oh, yeah.
And I was introduced to him. We celebrated a birthday party as well. So it was like having your cake and eating it too.
Yes, it was. And of course, he got to see the title that he proudly wore.
Absolutely.
Wears.
So, I can't remember where we left off at.
Oh, wait a minute.
That was good timing.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on the air, famous Georgia wrestling promoter, give it up for Ben Masters.
That's another nice way of saying the old Ben Masters, right?
Well, Ben, you're live on the air on the Stranglehold podcast. It's a pleasure. Of course, Ben.
I don't feel like laughing, but in honor of Mike Money, I have to say most times I was around him, we were laughing, and that's a big thing I remember all of this about Mike Money, because he always was joyful. He always had a way of getting back to the fun.
Absolutely. I mean, that was one thing about Mike. Even though he tried leaving the business several times, he's like, well, I missed the fun. I said, well, let's go just get the fun. Let's worry about that part right now. And he said, yeah, let's do that. Of course, that's how we ended up in Tennessee, back in September. Because that was just a fun time. It was just guys' time and a little bit of Crown World, a little bit of rubbing elbows with some boys, seeing some people I ain't seen in years, and helping him connect with some people that he hadn't met yet. And
I don't know if you saw the post about one of the wrestlers. I don't want to say his name, but I'm taking care of Bam Stone.
Yeah, I know Bam Stone.
To me, that was he made a post that was one of the best. If you didn't know Mike Money, the best way to sum it up of who he was and what he was about.
Right.
He was just doing a show for Mike, and he called him and said to be late. Which as a promoter, we get those calls. What do we want to? But sometimes things do happen. And he had car trouble. And he came late. Mike being, gonna make a situation lighter, just kind of laugh and say, well, I'll have to pay you your whole payoff then, you were late. And he doesn't say nothing, he's going to a kid, But at the end of the night, if this wasn't something that anybody knew until now, Mike asked him how much it cost to fix his car. And he told him, and Mike handed it to him, he said, don't tell anybody.
Yep, I was there that night, actually.
Mike didn't do that to impress the locker room.
No, he didn't.
He did it to help a friend or help a person that was just trying to make it. And that's the big thing about AWN and Mike. He gave so many guys a chance to, one, get started, but two, get better. And he lost money doing so.
Oh, that ain't no joke.
Taking a lot of money down there. But he wanted to make things good for the boys.
That ain't no doubt. No doubt at all, sir.
And there's a lot of us that have worked for him that may not be best friends, but I don't ever hear anybody say anything bad about Mike.
Nope.
Never heard anything.
And they never will.
I mean, there's nothing to say. He was just a genuinely good guy. If you didn't like him, you had a problem.
Yeah, you were the problem, not him. Exactly.
Right. But yeah, I'm going to miss him. He was, and you also know from your business, you do have friends, but you don't have many.
Nope, that's right about that.
You have a lot of acquaintances. You got a lot of people that you like, but how many do you have that you would actually trust or call in an emergency or, he was just a friend, and I think he was a friend to most everybody who knew him. I mean, I know several people that I won't call out that he's helped financially, just because they were having a hard time.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And he knew that, some of them couldn't pay him back. That was just, he wanted to help you.
Well, there was times I had to, yeah, Danny Horne's like nodding his head over here saying, yeah, I was one of those guys, but, Danny always found a way to make it right somehow. I'll give him that. Even in my situations where I was actually making really good money myself, I hit a few hard times, and especially when I transitioned from active duty to retiree. There was some times I really needed some backup, couldn't afford to pay my car insurance.
Right.
Mike was there, and I said, I'll get this back to you ASAP. He's just, whenever you can, don't be in a hurry.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't about that. And he wasn't going to go blast you for not paying him either. That was between you and him, and that was, I think that he was just the kind of person we should all strive to be more like. Just a good-hearted person. And loved pretty much everybody he met. The last time I talked to him was Tuesday. And I really wasn't, I don't think any of us were expecting this, but the last time that we talked, I knew he was sick, and he was in the hospital, but he didn't make any indications that that'd be the last time I talked to him, so I know he didn't know that.
There's maybe five promoters. There's maybe 5 promoters in Georgia that I've worked for that were the best, that I've ever worked for. George, you being one of them, as Ben Masters, Grady Odom, Eric Nelson, Mike Money, and Jerry Stevens.
Well, I appreciate it. I've always tried to be honest with talent, and if you can pay, if you tell a guy you're going to pay him something, that's what you pay him. If I couldn't pay you, I would. I mean, it's not ever going to be a situation where, well, oh well, that's all right.
You paid me every time I worked for you.
I know Eric's just the same way, and sometimes we do lose money, and sometimes we do get in tights. But we keep our promises to people that we.
Yep, that's absolutely the truth, sir.
And sometimes that means sacrifice, and that was another thing I think that Mike was telling me. And what was another interesting thing about him was, the politics in Georgia wrestling.
Of course.
Well, I was working for Rampage when I met Mike Money, and I don't think he and Doggett knew each other, but there was a friendly rivalry competition, whatever it was.
I wouldn't call it necessarily friendly, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're aware of it. I was trying to be nice there.
Hey, but I know what you're saying. I was kind of in the middle with Georgia Championship Wrestling on the other side of that coin.
And I was wanting to do more shows, and so I reached out to Mike, and I really didn't think he was going to use me because I was on TV for Rampage.
Right.
But he brought me in, and we never had a conflict because of it, or, you know, I didn't go in there and try to be underhanded and tell, you know, each promotion something about the other one. I mean, you know, I just wouldn't work and respected both of them because they were paying me, you know, and that's just where I came from, you know.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And that, of course, that's why you've been invited to my events, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to stir up nothing with nobody, and, you know, like I say, if you're in the business long enough, you're going to butt heads with somebody.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's why it's called a business.
Nice money, but it is.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't perfect. I know he wasn't Jesus, but he was very good at getting along with people.
Absolutely.
Yes, very.
And we didn't always agree, but we never argued. I mean, we never ever.
You know, there were times he pulled me aside and said, all right, now cool your head off, you know, because that was my problem. And everybody knows this about me, including yourself. I have a bit of a temper problem. I'm a bit hot-headed, and sometimes I'm quick to dial out punishment when maybe I should just cool off a little bit.
Mike was perfect for that. Now he was like your big brother or your dad figure. Or
I mean, like I said, he was the closest thing to a dad I had left until yesterday. That goes without saying. You know, they say cool.
I wish I had known. You know, when I talked to him. I mean, there's a lot more, obviously, I would have said. But,
there's a lot more I want to say to him too, Ben. Trust me.
and I know I'll see him again because I believe I'll see him another time.
We'll all be there together. I'm sure he's got the crown waiting on us.
Oh yeah, he'll be trying to set up some matches so we get there.
Absolutely.
First thing he's gonna say.
To choose from up there, right?
That's right.
I just really, honestly, did not expect any of this.
No, sir. Me neither.
He's a year older than me, and
That's scary, ain't it?
I had COVID, and you know, people tell me, you know, people older shouldn't, you know, are the ones that are gonna have this problem with it. And I think the thing is about it is you don't know. None of us really know how we are on the inside.
Right.
You like to think you're healthy. I know I'm too heavy, obviously, and probably not the best I could be. But, you know, it was rough for me, but, you know, I knew it was a hospital, thank the Lord, but even with him in the hospital, I still didn't, I just thought, well, he's gonna, you know, gonna clear his lungs up, and he's gonna come out and be fine.
Yes, sir.
Never had a thought otherwise. Never let my mind go to that point.
I mean, heck, we were making a lot of plans for this year, Mike and I, and you know, with conventions and with some on the road stuff. Once everything clears up, I mean, he was like, "Yeah, I'm down for it. Let's rent a van this time instead of driving my beater." You know, I was like, "Yeah." I mean,
I don't have to tell you, Danny, too. I mean, he had certain people that he just really cared about. You know, and if you didn't like them, that was your problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
If you didn't like Mike Money, your head ain't on your body straight.
Yeah, that's right. Well, listen, sir, it was a pleasure. It was an honor for you to call in and share your testimony with us this evening.
yes, sir. I'm gonna miss it.
I will be. I want to extend an invitation to you as well. We will be at the Denny's at the Byron exit next Saturday at 3 p.m. All are invited. They're, you know, like I said, the whole politics of Georgia wrestling do not apply to this meeting.
Sunday, man. Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
You said next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday, you know, at 3 p.m. The politics of wrestling do not apply at this meeting.
Right.
This is all about celebrating the life of our brother here.
It's not about us. It's about.
That's right. That's what I want everybody to keep in mind. You're welcome to share that information.
Not the 21st, but the 28th.
And we appreciate you calling in this evening, sir. It was an honor.
Thank you. And we need to all just keep each other looking in prayer because this isn't gonna be an easy one.
No, sir, it's not. And I'll see.
Gonna find another bike running. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Masters, we'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you, buddy. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Wow, Ben Masters. We were
Yeah,
just
that
talking
was-
about him.
That was a trip.
You just don't ever know. You know, Mike texted me
Nope.
the day he went in the hospital, the very hour he got a chance to send me a text saying I'll get with you when I can. So I panicked and called the hospital. I knew he was going to be house to medical center only made sense because it's right down the street, you know.
Right.
It was a better hospital than the ones in Macon. That's for damn sure. I talked to him. You know, he said, "Hey, I can't talk long. It hurts to talk." So told him I loved him. He told me he loved me, and then I made the Facebook post because I just, man, everything was just, woof, you know. That was like getting hit with a, that was like getting hit with a stray bullet, man. Just, you know. And then it's like, okay, you know, you're gonna beat this thing. He was even in the mindset, worry about it. I'm gonna lay down for a little bit. We'll get out. We're gonna do all this we talked about. We're gonna hit that road. We're gonna howl at the moon. Whatever you want to do, we're gonna do it. He said, as soon as I get wind back in these lungs and my feet hit the floor, we're rolling, son. It's okay. All right, you know. And I know Mike. You know, he he didn't want me to worry so much, and that was it. That was part of him. Is a big heart of his. He didn't want nobody worrying about him. And I put it on Facebook, and everybody got up in airs, and he kind of got my butt when I called him. I said, "Look, I'm trying to prove a point to you. You're more important than you freaking realize." I mean,
Amen.
not just the collection of people in this very room, but all of you out there watching that know him, that knew him, that you've heard these call-ins. I mean, that's the proof's in the pudding.
And we're not talking about just associates. We're talking about true friends of Mike Money.
Oh yeah.
If you actually knew Mike Money, he was super down to earth. Will take the shirt off his back to help you.
I'm going to take a breather, gentlemen. Chris Paradice, continue with the interview.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so we've jumped around a lot,
Yeah.
and it's going to be awesome for Mr. Gavin to go through everything. Through your whole career, man, you have a legendary career, man. 11 or 12 titles under your belt. You've always dreamed of wrestling Eddie Guerrero or Ric Flair. Is there any wrestler on TV today that if you ever got in the ring with them, you would purposely kick them in their nuts? You can't.
Baron Corbin.
Absolutely, man. That is awesome.
King Corbin, I can't stand him. Not just because it's his gimmick, but because of who he is. I don't like him.
I understand completely, man.
Oh, you mean the dumpster fire?
Yes. And I guarantee I would kick him straight in his nuts.
Okay, hold up. I'm sorry. I got to chime back. I was taking a breather. I was chilling, getting my breath for a minute. There's a fellow named Jeffrey Bravo, CZW guy. Great guy, friend of mine. He summed it up best. I mean, you know, he went toe-to-toe with Corbin on social media. You know, Corbin tried to insult him and get him a file of wrestling. That helped Jeffrey Bravo a lot. And then Jeffrey Bravo was like, hey, look, it's a Corbin match. It was a picture of Baron Corbin in a dumpster on fire. So he became known as a dumpster fire match. And it's like, look, just because you paid money to go pay your dues doesn't mean you're really any good. There's so many people in this business. I'm going to go ahead and say this because I know I'm pissing people off. But Mike loved that about me, right? Mm-hmm. He loved that about me. He's like, you know how to rile them up and get their blood boiling. So I'm going to say this. There's some of you out there that, honest to God, y'all might talk about him behind his back. But let me tell you something right now. That none of you have the ability to make any money. You couldn't draw flies to and you damn sure didn't do him any favors. And you know who you are. And with that, I'm going back here to my cup of coffee, gentlemen. Y'all continue.
Wow. Take a breath.
What's up, everybody? Eric Nelson, manager of Champions here with a public service announcement for all of you. As some of you may know, I was in a car accident. The other person's insurance company would not cover my damages, my medical bills, or anything else. But let me tell you, Chris, the only one out there for me is Castro Law. That's right, Castro Law, Concord Parkway, Atlanta, Georgia. He'll get you right. Right. He took care of me, and I know he'll take care of you. So, one call, that's all. Castro Law.
Alright, so, most famous person you've met?
Most famous person that I've met, probably Eric Nelson, the manager of Champions.
Yeah, he's probably the most famous person I know.
Most
too.
famous person I've ever met, Mr. Navy himself. No, I'm just kidding.
From behind the camera, that was
I'm just, I'm ribbing him. Most famous person I've ever met in the wrestling business. I've met a few of them. Mike Rotundo, Barry Windham back in the day. When I was a kid, I used to go to the West Palm Beach Auditorium and watch Florida Championship Wrestling all the time. And I was there so much that the wrestlers started knowing who I was.
That's awesome.
And one thing would lead to another, and I would somehow get into the dressing room. Billy Jack, I used to carry his bag from his car. I was 8 years old, so he put his little black hat on me, and here's my bag, carry it into the dressing room for me. Okay. I thought I was in the big time then, boy. I was like, heck yeah, boy. I'm carrying Billy Jack's bag, And so while I was in there, I started meeting the other wrestlers. Dusty Rhodes, Mike Rotundo, Barry Windham, Billy Jack, Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan was a big time heel down there, the Prince of Darkness is what they called him, and he painted his face and put an X on his head. And Abdullah the Butcher. Abdullah the Butcher was really scary back when I was 8 years old, and he did his job very well. So well that he made me, he burst into the crowd one time and made me run up over people trying to get out of his way because I was so scared of him.
So real quick, we go back probably 45 minutes before we took a call. I was talking about Iceberg.
Mm-hmm.
And you had the honor of wrestling him, and I used to watch him at Anarchy, and I had never in my life seen a guy so big move the way he moved.
Yes.
He's a feather on his feet, man. That's the only way I can do it. But he hits like a ton of bricks. And Iceberg, if you watch this, man, it's no insult. Don't beat me up for it. But sincerely, man, like watching, he would flip around. He'd throw people in a turnbuckle. He'd run at them and
do the flip
over. Yes.
Let me tell you, I can't remember where we were at, but I think Thomaston or something like that. But I was in the ring with Iceberg and DL Norris, and Iceberg did that move on me. He threw me into the corner. Boom! I hit the turnbuckle, landed on my butt. Next thing I know, here he comes. When he landed on me, I barely felt him.
Whoa.
I thought he was going to crush me, but I barely felt him. Because he had mad respect for me then, and he wasn't out to hurt me.
Right.
He was just out to put on a good show. And a good show we did.
So I used to watch a guy named Slim J. He was very popular on the Georgia scene.
I know who Slim J is.
Really small guy, smaller than you are.
Very small. Yeah.
But he is ripped and he's shredded. And when I want to say the first time I went to watch him, Slim J was a heavyweight champion. And I went there to watch because my roommate was training and Slim J was training my roommate. And when I saw him, my roommate was, let's say, 6'2" maybe. A little bit bigger than I was. But Slim J was small compared to him.
So it was like Mutt and Jeff.
Right. And he goes, man, you're not going to believe this. He put me in an armbar. Man, I couldn't tap out fast enough. He's like, I damn near cried. And I watched Slim J perform for a while. And I did a podcast with Iceberg. And he said Slim J is the toughest person he's ever been in the ring with. Which is mad respect to him.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see Iceberg get in there and move around, not exactly like Slim J did, but Iceberg's really, really quick on his feet. He was a hell of a seller, man. Like, he could put on a show for anyone. And I love Iceberg, man. I'm marking out here talking to you because you were in the ring with him. But he was very good at being a heel guy.
Yes.
When you faced him, was he heel or face?
Oh, he was heel. Yes.
That's when he was at his best, man.
Yes.
That it was just like, I don't know how to explain it. He was comfortable when he was heel.
Now, I have worked him when he was face. Right there in Fort Valley, Georgia, me and Iceberg did the first ever steel cage match that came to Fort Valley. And I was in the cage with him, and I told him, I said, man, whenever you get a chance, anytime you get a chance, throw me into that cage. I love it. And he would throw me into the cage. Then next thing you know, we're getting pegged from the fans by soap bars.
Oh goodness.
Oh God.
What?
Yes.
And Dirty, I think Dirty was involved in that too.
No, that was the Underfaker.
Brian Lee.
No, I remember Dirty. But anyway, soap bars and stuff started getting thrown towards the ring. Well, I got pegged in the face a few times.
Mike got hit between the eyes.
Yeah, Mike Money got hit between the eyes.
That was the night I dropped my first F-bomb on a live mic.
Yeah, he sure did. Told
I
everybody
started
to
cussing
stop.
because my now 17-year-old daughter was in a carrier, sitting in the bleachers, and one of those soap bars hit her.
Yeah, baby.
And I exploded on that microphone. You could have heard a cricket fart in that building after I got on there. Yep, that was... Yeah, sorry about the stinky dingo thing. I shouldn't have said nothing to those guys. It was just too funny.
Anyway.
It was just too funny. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Spaz, if you're watching,
Thanks a lot, right?
thanks a lot. Because you're the one that started that stinky dingo thing. And it ended up at AWN, and y'all sat there and said, oh man, we ain't gonna say nothing. First show they had. Stinky dingo.
Clap, clap.
Stinky dingo, man. And it just really got under my skin.
I need to apologize for that.
It's all good, Derek.
But you know, best matches I've ever gotten out of you is when you were pissed off.
When I was pissed off.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I had to do it, y'all. I'm sorry. That's my boy. 30 plus years, but I had to do it. Sorry, dude.
It's all good.
So right as we sat down, man, I heard talks of a junkyard match.
Yeah.
Could you tell me the vision of a junkyard match?
You go to Fort Valley, Georgia. Go inside the fence, lock the fence up, where you can't get out the fence. You got plenty of junk around. It's just a junkyard.
Yeah, because there's a Vietnam vet lives behind the old venue that makes his living by selling recycling junk, basically.
Right.
I got you.
And there's like old folding chairs that we broke that's in this pile. There's like
there's all kind of
there's
stuff
like these
out
metal
there, man.
steps that go up to a track for the mobile home type setups. There's broken hospital beds back there. I mean, it is just stuff upon stuff. There's old wood back there.
So there's plenty of weapons to use against each other.
Even snakes and rats.
And you just go in there
right,
and
and possums too.
you go in there and you just beat the hell out of each other until one gives in and says, I quit.
So it's basically modified I quit match.
And water
Don't want no more.
All right. So in your mind, how long do you see this match taking place? Do you think it's a 5-minute, 15-minute, an hour?
I wouldn't say an hour. I'd say maybe 30 minutes.
I'd say about 30 to 45 minutes probably.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time, man.
There's a
time.
lot of weapons to use.
That's a lot of ass to whoop.
That's a lot of whooping.
There's even water puddles.
1 foot water.
Oh yeah, Dio Norris. How was the water in Fort Valley? I hear you're the expert on that.
Yeah, he is.
Love you, bro.
Anyway, we were supposed to be doing a ladder match, but when we got the ladder inside the ring, me and DL went to climb up on the ladder and the ladder broke. Because it was a piece of crap.
Yeah, it came out of the junkyard too.
Yeah, it came out of the junkyard and I was like, y'all expect us to use that to get the belt? up there. There's no way. Hell, you can't even damn step on the ladder. So DL said, okay then, let's do this. He said, let's just have a falls count anywhere for the belt. Okay, we can do that. So it was really, really raining outside. I mean, storming. They had a pond in the up at the front door.
Oh, it was bad.
As soon as I grabbed DL and went towards the front door, the whole crowd said, "Shh," and went outside.
Yeah,
And that's
sure
what I
did.
wanted them to do.
I wish we
was
had a
praying,
flashlight.
please follow us. They followed us outside. I suplexed DL into that pond, and that's where I pinned DL. The referee come running out there, and he slid on top of the water and counted on top of the water the 1, 2, 3
And the mud and everything else.
It was like
It was
a hardcore title, like Hardcore Holly versus Al Snow. I think it was like Backlash 2000. They had a hardcore match, and it was like,
Not to mention it was freezing cold that night too.
Yeah, I like to call that.
Yeah, it was pretty cold that
I like
night.
to call that hardcore soup, right?
Yeah, so when we hit that water, it was like hit the water, jump right back out of it.
my only
tried to
regret was I didn't
anyways.
bring a flashlight.
Yeah, but anyway,
Boy, that was a good match.
Yes, it was.
very great match.
That's going in.
I'm trying to take it all in, man. Trying to take it all in. When you go into something like that, your significant other, how do you tell them, hey, I might not look the same at the end of the night?
I don't.
You just said, honey, it is what it is.
You sit right here and watch the show. First time I took her to Forsyth, I was working Billy Jack. Not the same Billy Jack.
Not
God
his.
rest his soul. Love you, brother. Miss
Yep.
you, Billy
That's another one going too soon.
I was working Billy Jack, Chris Nelms, Vic Rhodes, and it was myself. Anyway, one thing led to another. She was sitting ringside, and Vic Rhodes used to do this, "I'm your daddy."
Who's your daddy?
Yeah, who's your daddy? Well, anyway, I told Vic in the back, I said, man, when you go outside and when you go out to the ring, walk around that ring, go right in front of her, and look at her and say, "Who's your daddy?" Because she hated it. I got busted open during that match from a keyboard that Billy Jack hit me with, and a piece of that keyboard was stuck in the middle of my forehead.
Goodness.
I got hit so hard. Anyway, the lady of the venue, the building, was all pissed off because we was getting blood all over her wood floor. But she knew this. We all told her this when the venue first opened up, that the match was going to be a hardcore match. We were going to come out there with all kind of weapons, hit each other, bleed, the whole night. She said, "Go for it. Do what y'all got to do." Well, once we did it, she got pissed off because we messed up her floor and got blood on her floor. So lo and behold, we wasn't able to do another show at that venue.
One and done.
And I had to help clean him up.
Yeah, and she had to help clean me up. So when I'm in there and I'm fixing to bleed, I don't tell her. I just let her sit there, and it's a surprise.
All right.
It scared me at first.
In my eyes, I'm thinking, all right, honey, close your eyes. I've never been in a situation. I probably never will, but if it was to come to that conclusion, I definitely think I'd have to tell her, like, hey, close your eyes.
You ought to try it one time. It's a lot of fun.
I bet it is, man. I used to dream of it when I was a kid, but
Hey, if you dream of it then, it's a dream of yours.
I feel fragile now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really? I bet I can get you in the ring and do the same thing, and you won't even be hurt. You'll
That's
be able
awesome.
to walk on, do whatever you gotta do, go to work, whatever.
Yeah, that's always been my main concern. When my roommate was training, he's like, "Why don't you come do this with me?" I was like, "Cause I have to get up and go to work the next morning." I had a kid at the moment, or at the time, I guess, and I was like, "So if anything was to happen to me, no matter what, 4 o'clock comes, I have to be at my job. that
I've
morning.
even took people outside in the yard, suplexed them in the yard, and they got right up and walked away.
That's awesome, man. We're gonna have a venue before long. Maybe we'll try that.
Yeah, we will.
That's
That's right.
awesome. Now, real
Yeah,
quick,
I'm really liking this junkyard match idea.
I am too.
I got my creative gears spinning.
Kind of like the funeral match.